Hi everyone, Anthony here, and we're going to go through the first of the traditions for the year. Now I've got my notes in front of me, so apologies for looking down. But basically we're starting on December. No, we're not starting on December, we're starting on January the 1st. So for New Year's Eve traditions, that will be the very last video in the playlist. So we're going to start on January the 1st. So this gives us a crossover period. There's something called first footing, and this is the first person in the door on New Year's Eve. Now on New Year's Day. Now normally this is done like a minute after midnight, so it's a little bit of a which side. So we're going to do that on New Year's Eve traditions. But in case you've not done that and no one's done first footing, this is what you should do. You should make sure the first person through your door on New Year's Day is not female. They cannot be female. It should technically be a young male, and they should bring with them gifts such as coal for warmth, bread for food, and money for wealth. And they should do things like poke the fire and wish everyone a happy new year and bring luck into the house. Normally this is done at 1 minute past midnight, but if you've not done it, that needs to happen the first thing in the morning. Now you should also on this day do no washing up, no washing of laundry, no doing any sort of that type of housework. It's day you don't do any of that. And I've spoke to people whose mothers and grandmothers were like, oh, you do not do laundry or any washing of any kind on that day. That is like sacrilege. Now if you're going to take anything into the house or take anything out of the house, doesn't matter what it is, anything. If it's not just you're going to take the bin out, or you're going to bring something in or grab a pint of milk, you've got to be really careful. You have to bring something in first. That's why first footing is important, because something's brought in first. Then you can start moving things around. Some people say you should do nothing on New Year's Day. No in, no out, no nothing. Leave it. Just don't bother. Do you know what I mean? Everything should be in beforehand or out beforehand, and all of New Year's Day don't do it. So be very careful of that. However, in the past, fire could not be given. It couldn't be given. So you couldn't take fire out of the house. That was extremely unlucky. So in the old days where you used to have fires going, now my house has no central heating. It worked only off fire. So if I didn't have my fire lighters or my kindling set up, then New Year's Day would be a freezing day. But you must never give fire to anyone outside of your house on New Year's Day. Don't do it. Now, the first water of the morning. Now this is called cream of the well. Now the first water you should get is probably, now we turn the taps on, but in the old days the well bucket was considered as the greatest water. It was considered as holy, like May Day's water, which we'll do later in the year. But basically this is like purity in essence. So you give it to sort of the lady of the house, and she would wash her face and become beautiful from it. So the very first bit of water out of your tap or water out of your well, depending on what you're doing, is the cream of the well. That is the sacred water. Now you can also do something called Bible dipping. Now Bible dipping is where you tell your fortune from New Year's Day. So on New Year's Day you open the Bible or a copy of anything by Virgil. So if you've got the Greek philosopher Virgil or a Bible, you just literally do this at random and then put your finger on it, and that's your prediction for the year, and you've got to interpret that whether it's good or bad, and that will be your prediction for the year. But you can only do that on New Year's morning or New Year's Day. Now, of course, the last one is gifts. Now, in the past, gifts were given on New Year's Day. Now this is very important to understand, because Christmas as gifts was only from the 1860s onwards, the early 20th century. Before that, nobody gave gifts on Christmas Day. They went to Christmas Mass, did their Christmas thing, and most people gave their gifts on New Year's Day. So if you've given all your family and friends gifts for Christmas, which is our tradition now, then save a little one for New Year's Day and go, there you go, there's your gift for New Year's Day, because it's an old tradition. It's a little bit of an extra special bit. So there you go, guys. Right, throughout this I'll be using Steve Rude's English Year, because it's an excellent book and he's an excellent researcher. So do support him and get that book. I'll try not to mention every video, because I'm clearly just going to go through it to help you guys. So do your best to get a copy of that and follow along with me. It's an excellent book. Please share this channel with your friends and let me know what you think in the comments below, and we'll keep doing the festivals day by day.